Picture this. It's 2011. Little 8-year-old Gav can't wait for the weekend. Why? Because every weekend I would go over to my cousin's house for one specific reason. To play Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Every Friday I would ask to go over just to whoop his ass. It was the epitome of our childhood, fighting each other in Dragon Ball. Why am I telling you this? Because since those days in 2011, I've always wondered when the next Budokai Tenkaichi game will come out. Years after years after years went by. I'm like a son waiting on his pops to come back from the store. That shit just didn't happen. It didn't happen for so long. Because think about it. The game came out in 2007, and we didn't even touch the game until 2011, and we're playing it for 5 years at this point. And we're sitting in silence with no word on when the next game will come out. Because since its release in 2007, there have been 7 major Dragon Ball games to release. Raging Blast 1, Raging Blast 2, Xenoverse 1, Xenoverse 2, Fighter Z, and Kakarot. And throughout all of those games' lifespans, all that I ever wanted was a new BT game. We had played the same story a billion times by this point. I needed it new. I needed it fresh. But then finally, at the Game Awards in 2023, Bandai announced it. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Oh my God. The wait was finally over. Sparking Zero, the next iteration of the Budokai Tenkaichi series, set to release on October 11, 2024. And when I heard this news and saw this trailer, I swear to God, a tear came to my eye. I had been waiting on this for so long. The hype I had for this game was unmatched to any game I've ever had. The only game that rivals the hype I had for this was Black Ops 3 in 2015. And let me tell y'all, Bandai knows how to market a game, because the hype for this shit was crazy. At least for like nerds and Dragon Ball fans. Because think about it, Spider-Man was one of the most hyped games. That bitch was right here. If you fucked with Dragon Ball, that's where Sparking was at. That's how hyped this bitch was. On launch, the game had 182 different characters to use. That in itself was enough for me already. Sell me the game right then and there. You don't need to tell me anymore. Just look at the cinematics the trailer has. Then the day comes, October 11th. Millions and millions of people are flooding to download this game, and everybody is having fun. The game feels fun. The game feels fresh. The graphics are nice. Movement is smooth. There's nothing to complain about. The game we had been waiting a decade plus for is finally here, and it felt amazing. The menu is fun and inviting. It almost makes you want to interact with it. And then this brings me to the underlying question. Why did only after 1 month did Sparking Zero lose 80% of its player count? Why did 100,000 concurrent people playing just vanish to a measly 1,000 live players at today? Let's just start off with one of my personal main reasons was the game just didn't feel polished. For them to take 10 plus years to make this game, it almost feels like they rushed it in the sense that they didn't deeply test the game. One of the main reasons the player count dropped so highly is because of the online multiplayer. The shit was chopped cheese. It didn't work. Anytime you tried to find a match, you're there for 10-20 minutes searching for a match to find nothing. Let's just say in a hypothetical world you did get a game and you know you're winning your game against your opponent. What are they going to do? Rage quit. You don't get the rank points and your opponent doesn't get penalized. It was such a big problem. I remember anytime I was about to win a game, especially against higher ranks, boom, rage quit. And it makes you almost not want to play the game. And it kind of sucks that the ranked mode was trash on drop, because in no other Budokai game were you able to play ranked. Unless you count the Wii version of BT3, but we do not talk about that. And in today's age of gaming, ranked is kind of the main thing that people flock to. So naturally, that's why the player count decimated so much. The other online modes worked completely fine in my opinion, but they just don't have the pool that the ranked mode did, especially for someone like me who's super competitive. I would also like to take a second and talk about the story mode here. The concept of the story and the what ifs are very cool, and some of them are very cool. But the problem I have with it is the replay value. There's no, like, you play these what ifs one time, and after that, you're never going back to them. But I cannot lie. Gohan Black, too tough. Oh my god. Super Saiyan 1 Goku in the Saiyan arc, too tough. The story did innovate on a few things, like the first person cutscenes. We've never had those in the billion times we played Dragon Ball, so something that like that is cool to see, but it's not executed to the perfect extent. A lot of the times it feels stagnant and the characters are just standing stiff staring at you. And I haven't even touched on a main aspect yet, and that has been gameplay. Gameplay when this game dropped felt amazing in my opinion. Everything flowed amazingly, and every time you lost, it felt like your fault. Most of the time you lost, it felt like your fault. Combo system was easy to learn, but it was hard to master. The vanish battles felt clean, and it felt like a perfect fighting game blueprint. It almost felt like exactly like BT3. But where did it go wrong? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, today's age we live in, the ripe year of 2025, we have loser tryhard nerds. What you're watching is an official Bandai held Sparking Zero tournament. The announcers gave up on announcing watching the gameplay. All the dude does in the grand final is fly up and down for 10 minutes. The announcers don't even know what to say because of how broken the game is. And after that elite tournament was played, Bandai had came out and was like, nah, no more of this shit. Change is coming soon. And so that's what they did. Now at this point in Sparking Zero's life, the game is not in the best state. The matchmaking is horrible, the rage quits are even worse, and then when you did get a game, you're going up against a Broly that's spamming Ki Blast against you in Sparking mode. With nobody really wanting to play the game in its current state, Bandai would really have to shake things up with this next update. Then when we needed it most, it happened.
I will protect my family.
They did what they needed to do. I ain't even about to get into all the characters right now. Let's go see these patch notes. Boom, 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 boom. This shit gone. This shit gone. This shit gone. And when we needed them the most, they came through. They fixed a lot that was wrong with the game. They increased the skill points needed for instant spark. They increased the vanish battle speed. They nerfed perception and super counter. It almost added another layer of skill. Nobody's going to come back and play this game if the gameplay is the same. It had to feel fresh and renewed, and they nailed it on the head with that. Not even to mention that we got Gohan Beast, bro. One of the hardest characters to ever come out in anything ever. The DLC also added 11 new characters, and every single one of them is fun to play with. Like, you know they knocked it out the ballpark when giants are fun to play with. The game was finally fun again. It felt like day one all over for me. I played with Orange Piccolo for like a month straight. There wasn't another character I touched. In this whole video, I haven't stated my biggest problem with this game. The customization. We waited how long for this game? 15 plus years? And you're telling me in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 there was an alternate colorway where you can play as Gogeta Super Saiyan 5? And I can't even change the color of Goku's gi in this game? It's sickening how little amount of customization you can do. Okay, cool, I can throw Halo on Goku. Or I can change Fidel's outfit. Woo. I don't know, this could just be my opinion, but it's crazy to me that in a game that came out in 2007, you could customize hundreds of characters. And in Sparking, it's just trash. And this is honestly one of my biggest complaints with the game, because something as small as customization has so much pull, and it just makes it more fun, more visually appealing to play. Like, let's take Chaozu for example, and I'm playing a game with Chaozu. I'm gonna get bored over time, but for me personally, if we made Chaozu green, I would play with him again, because that's interesting, it's fun, it's different. Earlier in the video, I was talking about how the story mode has no replay value. It feels the same over and over again, and even other modes like multiplayer can suffer from this a little bit. A good way to combat that is to make it to where we can put whatever the fuck we want on these characters. It's a virtual video game. Who gives a fuck if Goku's in his original gi or not? Because I know damn well I don't. And something like mods can help out with this, but it's not the full customization that we honestly deserve. We waited so long for this game. It should be implemented into the game already that we're able to bullshit with these characters. Now that I've spoken about all that, I'd like to talk about my personal opinion on the game and what I think about it. Personally, I love Sparking Zero. I love fighting games. I love Dragon Ball. I love everything about the game. Like, I've hit Z rank damn near 3 times already. I don't know if it's because I'm a nerd. I don't know if it's my love for Dragon Ball or if I'm delusional, but I just can't stop playing this game for some reason. I enjoy it so much. I died for this shit, bro. When Goku went Super Saiyan 4 the other day in Daima, I damn near cried, bro. That's how much this shit mean to me. So then why does a large portion of people think this game is a failure? I think it's because they don't understand. At its core, Budokai games have always been a party game. It's not something you sit down and grind for hours and hours. It's something that's meant to be played when the boys come over, when you go over to your cousin's house, things along those lines. So if you're not a die-hard Dragon Ball fan, or if you don't like fighting games, I can understand why you don't play this game. But I think Sparking Zero did a very good job with this, because even when my friends come over to this day, I'm still asking them, do you want to play Sparking? And I'm throwing the sticks to them and we fighting each other. And that's where I find myself having the most fun playing this game, at its core roots where it's meant to be played. In conclusion, I don't think this game necessarily failed like the community says it did. I think they obviously had some miscues that could have easily made this game more replayable and enjoyable, but they did a good job. For what's considered Budokai Tenkaichi 4, I enjoy every bit of this game. I waited almost my whole life for this game to drop, so it would take a lot to disappoint me. Overall, I think this is a wonderful game, and I cannot wait for future DLC to see how they improve on this formula that they have. I think more consistent updates would hold the player count better, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. If you enjoy playing the game, you enjoy playing the game, and don't let nobody else tell you nothing else. Bandai is usually good at listening to the community, so I'm excited for the future of this game and what's going to get added. And at the end of the day, a lot of these are just my opinion. I'm excited to know what you think. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching. This future Gav here. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Nobody can hold me in that game. If you really do think you could beat me, please let me know. I enjoy the comp. We can run friendly fades, whatever. I got PC, Xbox. I don't got P5 though, so but I'm the best Vegito, #1 Vegito around.